Straight off the bat, this driver knew how to get reaction out of me, and yes, I did have a bit of a crash out. Anyway, daily race A, some of the more goated races we've gotten in a while. So you have karting tracks on Yamagiwa, Miyagi, whatever it's called. Anyway, lights out and away we go. We have a full manual start, and I have a couple of tips and tricks to how you can improve your start and get actually a bit of an advantage over your other drivers. However, to access that, you're gonna have to book a coaching session through me, which you can do by texting coach on my Instagram. That aside, I'm gonna be looking to put the pressure on the top two drivers, and you can see I'm in the draft, and karting is all about the draft. As I overtake this driver, if you keep an eye on the radar, you can see he had like a bit of a mistake and crashed into me, which led me to going, both of us actually going off. After triggering quite the reaction out of me, I was pretty much set on getting a kart back on track, so I go and rotate it and try to, recover what I lose. Even though this race is not a DR race, meaning I don't get any DR issues or driver rating cuts or penalties, meaning that I can finish anywhere and I won't have to worry about it. But sportsmanship is on the line, so I'm not gonna quit the race just to lose the sportsmanship, because especially that I can just finish it in any position and still have my sportsmanship go up, since I was not the person who caused the crash. Hence, there's a yellow flag and the person seems to have kissed the barrier, had a nice makeout session. Whatever they did, it's between them. All I care about is the free position I had. Now I'm up into P11, and I like these recovery races sometimes when I get fucked up in the first race. I decided to have a bit of an artistic view, or a bit of singing. Anyway, another position made, easy clap, because again, he was going off. So I'm now back into P10. Now it's actually an easy deal to get back into it, because to be fair, the only competitive you'll see is in the top 5. Anything outside of the top 5 is basically up for grabs and free. That's at least what I experienced in most of these daily race A open lobbies. Anything out of the top 5 is pretty much up for grabs and easy, at least for my skill compared to other drivers. So I'm looking to make a position up on the British driver up ahead. Again, I'm in the draft. It's gonna be not a long time, because all I have to do is stick behind as he goes for a very wide, very wide way to take the corner. And it just basically gave me the position for free, as a yellow flag is pointed up on my screen, and I'm like, who's the person who crashed? Now, by looking at the map or the radar, I don't see anybody, so maybe it was a false flag. But if you look just up ahead, there seems to be somebody, so maybe someone all the way from the top 5 has spun out and went back. That could be the reason, because you can see there is a driver that seems to be closer than where he was, as somebody else goes for a full spin, which is behind me actually, so that is not irrelevant to me. The beauty with this race is it's very fast-paced. You only have about 8 laps, and each lap is like 44-45 seconds. So quite literally, it's a 6-minute race where if you stay in a pack, it's pretty much fighting tooth and nail for 5 minutes straight. And what's good about that is you don't have to worry about consistency. What's not good about that is your skills don't really develop the way they should. Because to be fair, on the big scale, all of the daily races, even daily races, they're all on the shorter end. And when you go to longer races, you start literally panicking, like midway through, 30 minutes through. As a driver decides to go for an absolute skill issue, it goes really wide, and there's a yellow flag displayed up on my screen. I'm not sure who spun, I don't really see it where that driver spun. I can see somebody behind on the map has spun, but that's about it for me. And there's a stiff spinner. I'm suspecting he's the person who spun, because he was ghosted. Anyway, 2 overtakes into the first corner, easy clap, no issue at all, up into P7. That's like further enhancing my point. Anything after P5, so P6 and lower, is pretty much up for grabs. So skipping to the end, I pretty much finished the race in P6, just out of the P5. Not a bad result at all, but we gotta do another race. You know the deal by now, full manual start, we were waiting for the 5 lights, and then up ahead we go. For anybody able to guess what's the tip to get an early start without getting penalized, I'll give them a free of charge coaching session. So guess in the comments and we'll see if you're right or wrong. Anyway, it was lights out about a minute ago, and now we're in the race. Starting in P5, I'm aiming at P1. Realistically, it's very easy to go from the back to the front of this race. So I'm pretty much duct taped to the bumper of the driver up ahead, who seems to have a Mueller and a Hale pacer on his helmet. So I'm not sure about him, he's a little sus. But I don't judge anyone, I just want another easy overtake, which was not made here, purely because I had the wrong positioning compared to him. So I'm gonna be looking on the outside of this corner. I like to make my overtakes on the outside, because this corner, most people mess it up. As you can see, absolute fuck up. I get tapped from behind, and that's what led me to, having a bit of a spin. So I could have overtook him, but that little tap led me to drift a little bit, which absolutely ruined my shot, as this driver absolutely disappeared and goes visits his barrier relative. And I go pretty much into P1 with a nice lunge because I'm sitting in the draft of like 3 cars and then 2, and now another driver is absolutely gone. Here's the thing with these races. The main focus is don't fucking die. If you don't die, you can actually win. And that's why only the top 5 are the top 5. That's why only the top 5 can survive, because not anybody is made to stay in the top 5. You have to fight tooth and nail and pretty much kill each other. You can see how close we are. I nearly went off track there, where pretty much these 4 drivers, actually the 6 drivers here, any of them have an equal shot at winning the race because of just how competitive karting is. As I make an absolute move, I overtake the driver and I move up into P2. Now here's the thing, karting is hyper, not super, hyper critical. And you have to be super hyper focused on everything you do, because even the curves are not your friends anymore. And you can see as I'm duct taped to the French driver's kart, I am looking for the move. I'm super aggressive, I'm not settling for less. I want P1 and I'm gonna find it one way or another. So I tried to make the move on the outside, but then I kind of went on the rubble, which led me to pretty much losing all my advantage to this driver. But in a good sense, I do have the draft leading up to the next corner. So I'm gonna be catching up, and I'll be close enough to launch a move, but there's a driver who's gonna attack on the inside, so I decide to play alternative. You can see the driver up there, they kind of went wide, and I don't have to worry about it too much, but I still didn't make the position up on P1, because again, I wasn't that close enough to the French driver, and there was again the added issue of, you know, a bit of traffic. Anyway, the Swiss driver who was ahead of me just a lap ago is now fully behind, and I just lapped him. Probably spun a couple times, had a makeout session. Something happened. Now I'm looking to make an outside move on the driver up ahead, the French driver, but it's not gonna happen because I don't have the position. But here I do have the position, but I'm fully in the draft, so I'm gonna let him have the inside of the braking zone, as he nearly sent us both into the barrier. That's again why you have to be super critical about karting. The tiniest input will fuck you up nicely. Anyway, I'm now up and ahead into P1, and you can see there is a pack of 5 drivers up ahead, which is terrifying to be in, and you do not want to be there. This track is wide, it's plenty wide to have these kinds of battles with the karts, because again, karts are tiny. This track is meant for cars, so you do have some pretty insane battles. Now, skipping forward 1 lap, you can see we have Sunday, I cannot really read the name, 3 Italian drivers behind. And they're all within draft range of me, so this means they're just gonna catch up, because an Italian plus another Italian, they're just gonna work together. It's somewhere in their DNA. So switching to the external view, you can see we're pretty close. Again, any of these 4 positions here, P4, P1, we're all equally having a chance at the win here, because again, just that's how competitive karting is. As long as you're in the draft of these 4 cars, you have a fair chance of winning. So now it's up to me to defend on the braking zone, and you can see somebody nearly got assassinated. Everybody got very touchy, but we stay alive. That's the thing. Top 5, that's why the top 5 is the top 5. It's just super hyper competitive, and it's not for anybody else. So now I'm looking down the driver up ahead, and there is another Italian behind me who is also in the draft. Now I'm trying to get him to get the bump draft, but as we go to this corner, the bump draft becomes a bit more difficult. As you see, he sends an overtake down the inside of me, which I really cannot do much about. But for me, I view it positively, because he's in front now. I have a slipstream. So that's an opportunity to make a move, but I'm having to defend the other driver a little bit, so it doesn't give me the best slipstream, because once again there is somebody I have to worry about. So you know what? I do my classic move. I let them have the inside, because they will fuck it up. Look at them, both fucked up. I go down the inside, through goes Hamilton, smooth operator out of it. That's some of the best moves you can do, and is my favorite. The classic switcheroo. You have to be super critical and very smart with the positioning. And now I pretty much get a free shot at P1. All I have to do is build a gap, but that's pretty much impossible. They're still in the draft. I really can't do much. What will I do? Nothing. Just hope they don't fuck me up. So I'm sitting. I'm trying to do or follow a picture perfect line, but once again, I can't do much against the draft. The draft is working full time against me right now. So in terms of what I can do, there is nothing I can do. I can just hope I do good in the braking into turn 1. And we go into that turn, the braking zone. He's like just about behind. He's in range of a move, 100%. And he goes for the move down inside. Now I did not defend it because I expected to do a switcheroo, but he amazingly covered it. So I was not able to do that at all. So I tried to get for a switchback, get the slipstream, get the run on him, and I'm getting that run. But the distance is not helping, because I'm getting that amazing run. If the line was just a little further away, I would have won that race, but amazing regardless. Now, going into daily racing. Again, another GOATED race thrown by Prolific Digital at us. This week is a good week for races. Anyways, lights out and away we go. You have the Red Bull Ring with GR4 cars, which is a pretty good mix in my opinion. The Red Bull Ring, I'd prefer it with more Formula style cars, or GR3, GR2, GR1. But again, I wouldn't complain with GR4s because they're equally fun. as a clear turn 1, you need to have absolute balls and trust in your car, because all you have to do is throw it and pray it sticks, because I'm not scared of hitting the wall, I'm scared of what's worse, a penalty. And the Red Bull Ring is known for its notorious track limits penalties. It's just so easy to go off track. Because here's the thing, if you're not pushing, you're losing time. And this track just requires a fuck ton of pushing, and that's the only way to win a race here. Push without penalties. But once again, it's just so simple and easy to just go off track and go wide. Because the track, again, there is no punishment to it. Aside from the 0.5 or 1 second penalty you can get, there is no punishment. The only punishment areas where you can go off is here. Here, if you go off, it's a big problem. And then in the 2 corners up ahead, if you go off, also big problem. So this gives the drivers a bunch of unnecessary confidence and a bunch of a motive to push harder than you actually would at other tracks where, you know, there is more tighter corners, more punishing track limits. So you can see with the 2 drivers up ahead, I'm pretty much playing catch up here, and I'm also playing getaway with the driver behind. As I make a silly mistake, I go on the gravel and I gain myself a nice 0.5 penalty, which will be assigned to me now. And here starts the notorious games of track limits penalty. It doesn't end. On this track, nah, not ending. Not even the best drivers have issues with this. The Austrian GP has consistently been the track with the most penalties for a couple years now. As I go off and gain myself a 1 second penalty like a retard. And now, instead of having to serve the nice old 0.5 penalty, I have to serve 1.5 seconds, and that just adds up to my death sentence. And it's coming, end of the lap. And now I try to push hard, because this is genuinely my first shoot out this race. I am uncomfortable with the track, I'm not yet comfortable with the car, and I get myself another 0.5 penalty, which means I have to serve 2 seconds at the line where the penalty is. So what I'm thinking now, I'm not thinking, let me catch up to the cars ahead. No, I wish. I'm thinking, how the fuck do I get away from the Indian and the Greek behind? This is the focus. Because once again, 2 seconds, here it says 2 seconds, right? But the braking zone, the penalty line, you cross it, you will brake for 2 seconds. You understand how slow that is? That's realistically a 3 or 4 second penalty. I didn't calculate it, so take it with a grain of salt, but it's somewhere there. And here, it's, to be fair, it's better than other tracks. Some other tracks, it's, the penalty line is starting at the front of a very long straight, and you can lose upwards of 5 seconds there. So, I'm just hoping to build the gap, and you can see the gap is about 3.2, 3.3, it's somewhere there. That should at least secure me a little bit where I'd have a bit of breathing room to the drivers behind. And if you look, I'm not the only one with a penalty. The driver up in P1, he also has a penalty, but it looks like a 1 second or 0.5 penalty. I cannot see too well, so I'm not sure of that. And now, both of us are back, but he's less back than I am, or like he's less set back. And if you look at the delta, you can see driver now about 1.1 seconds behind. I skip forwards about 8 laps. This is now the end of the race, and that's when it starts heating up. You can see driver serves his penalty. They're still fighting. He gets a penalty, and now I'm thinking, penalty plus fight equals I have a chance. So I'm thinking, what can I do? I looked at the driver up ahead. I thought he had a track limits penalty, but he does not. He did not get it. He's just about to go off, but he didn't yet. That's the thing. The track limits. It's like what do I feel like? That's track limits like. So now I go hard on the brakes, and I made a bit of a mistake, but I'm not too much. Like I didn't go off the track, so I still have my penalty. Again, I'm still absolutely terrified of this penalty. I'm thinking about 0 risks. I don't want to take any risk. I just want the position to be mine. Now, again, they are fighting. They are going side by side. That's good. That's what I want. Let them fight, because he has a penalty. Doesn't matter. To him, he's losing regardless. So he's going to fight as much as he can. Because to him, it's not about winning or losing anymore. To him, it's about this driver doesn't win. The Spanish doesn't win. That's what he's thinking about. Now, he gains a 0.5 penalty. Now, 2 of them have 0.5 penalties. Now they both don't give a fuck. They're just gonna fight it over. And I'm like, that's exactly what I want. And you can see they're just fighting. I'm now on the bumper. Even if they didn't have the penalty, I would have still found, I'm in the draft, well in the draft, I would have still found an opportunity to overtake later, because I'm better on the attacking side than the defensive side, if I'm being fair. So I'm just sit back, chill, laid back, and you can see there's the Italian driver behind. He's also gonna be very happy with what they have to serve. As they go purple into the sector, I'm like, let them serve the penalty, give me the position. Now, we're approaching the line, boom, both on the brakes, I go overtake, easy clap, now I'm on P1. It's up to me to defend the position, and I have a nice comfortable gap of about 0.3 seconds, 0.4 if you look at the camera, as I do the absolute mistake of going off track, and this is where I really start losing it. once that penalty was given to me, I absolutely had a mental breakdown. Internally, of course, I had an existential crisis. I was like, do I even quit? Like, what do I do now? But again, my driver's rating now, plus the sportsman rating, is on the line. As this driver goes off and pushes me, I hope that doesn't give me a penalty, but I don't think it will. I saw a 33 on his car, so he's definitely an MV fan, which means he will be a bit more aggressive. Anyway, regardless of position, I have my penalty to serve, so I'm thinking, fuck, what the fuck can I do to execute this win? So I'm looking on the inside, boom, easy, late break, and I get tapped on the behind, absolutely sent out of the fucking competition. He should have gotten a 2-second penalty for that, but the game does not play fair. So I'm pretty much wiping my tears and I'm just begging for something to happen, because yeah, Italian is up behind and he's gotta take the position, he don't have a penalty. I'm like, please, somebody, crash, penalty, anything. I'm begging God for any sort of help here, but again, it's sometimes begging is not enough, sometimes praying is not enough. And there you go, both of us have penalties, so I'm thinking, how do I stay P3? I'm not thinking of the win anymore, I'm thinking, how the fuck do I stay P3? So, again, both drivers up, still fighting. They seem to have been fighting the entire race, and now I'm in the equation, and the driver up behind is also in the equation, because we're both gonna serve the penalties. That's a free position for him, and I'm thinking, what the fuck can I do? Because I just have 2 corners left. Anyway, we serve the penalties. I overtake into P2, and Italian behind will be very happy, but I got a nice little tap on the inside of this corner. Boom, driver goes down the inside, pushes me off, gives the position to the other person, and now I'm in P4. Wow. Again, I told you, it's somewhere in their DNA. If 2 Italians exist, they always work together. It's in the DNA. It's just a law. So, I finished in P4. Not where I want, but I mean, still a very solid race.